Departing from his bus, Grant looked up at the building he had just arrived at. The sign above the entrance read very clearly, Malcolm, Administration Court. This was precisely where Grant had desired to be. The man in question here seemed to be familiar in Grant's mind, as if they had met once before. Now that was a memory that seemed older than time itself. It felt like it had been over a million years that he had been working in Snakewater, Montana. Back then he thought he knew all about dinosaurs. Oh, how wrong he truly was. He could well remember being approached by John Hammond. The man sure knew how to make an entrance. He could remember the words he spoke that day distinctly.
I own an island off the coast of Costa Rica. I've leased it from the government, and I've spent the last 5 years setting up a kind of biological preserve. Really spectacular, spared no expense.
Grant never blamed Hammond for what had happened on that fateful trip. He never truly held any ill will towards him. However, he still hoped that he learned from his mistakes before his untimely death. It was a fine line to cross when concerning such things as this. As playing God, life had a way of shaping itself in ways no one could truly understand. He could hear someone speaking down the hall ahead. Behind the large doors, from the sound of it, there must have been more people in there. I am positive that you are all aware of the issue presented here, came the voice Grant barely recognized as Ian Malcolm's. The whole world is aware, Dr. Malcolm, one of the other voices said. Overpopulation isn't the kind of predicament that is usually overlooked. Recently, I've gotten a report of a 10-mile traffic jam because of these creatures. It's the third one this week, another voice brought up. Gentlemen, I can very well see your concerns. Malcolm's voice came again. Grant could easily recognize the stuttering tone of voice that he always spoke in. It was cocky, stuttering, and yet sometimes the only voice of reason in such a crazed, madcap world. And I think this will be a perfect opportunity to express an idea I've recently been blessed with. Please share this idea with us, Dr. Malcolm, came the voice of one of the congressmen. Well, to put it plainly, my solution to this problem is to simply succeed where engines failed. Malcolm came again. You see, you may already be aware, I've gotten a good bit of wealth from my book series, God Creates Dinosaurs. And at some point in my life, when was it? Tuesday! Tuesday, that's what it was. Yeah, Tuesday. Anyway, I was wondering what exactly I could do with this enormous fortune for the betterment of this economy. Eventually, I found myself an answer. Simply put, we put an electric fence around our city to prevent any more damages. As he heard the council murmuring amongst themselves on Malcolm's suggestion, Grant decided he would go in and see them for himself. He opened the courtroom doors and walked into the room, where he saw the recognizable face of Dr. Ian Malcolm sitting before the senators of California. The only thing about his face that seemed to have changed since last they met was the large gray beard that had planted on the lower half. It seemed as if they both had changed pretty well. My name on YouTube is the King of Kaiju, while my real name is Gordon, and it is my job to write down this story you see before you in the way that I have planned out. And it is my full intention to write in so it seems as if it fits into the lore of the Jurassic Park movies, in a way that even Steven Spielberg would see fit. And if he were to read this, there is no doubt in my mind that he would not be dissatisfied with the expression that formed on Dr. Malcolm's face as he saw the face of Dr. Grant. You know, if you're going to send an invitation that reads anonymous, Grant had waited until the senators had left before speaking with Malcolm. I wouldn't mind if you came up with some sort of letter or something. It's a new era, Malcolm shrugged. So I'm pretty sure you know why that invitation was sent out. I have a hunch, Grant sighed. Does it have something to do with, I don't know, the dinosaurs? What gave it away? Malcolm answered rhetorically. So what is it? This subject was not exactly an easy one to talk about with Dr. Malcolm. It was one thing for him to be right, but being wrong was a whole different thing for this mathematician. He scratched his beard a little bit, shaking his head before speaking again. I'm pretty sure you know about the whole DPG situation. Ever since the whole Lockwood fiasco with all the hybrid jazz and whatnot, Miss Deering's little company has been in a bit of financial trouble. Money's draining faster than my dates. Small joke. Anyways, I know that I kind of said that they were better exterminated, but he sighed slightly. I don't know. I'm just getting some second thoughts. I mean, they're living things, believe it or not. Maybe it was the beer I had last year. Maybe I was sober, but I got to thinking, I know it's not exactly in my nature to think by your standards. But believe it or not, it has been known to happen. So, what I was thinking is we kind of, fund them and maybe even give them a bit of advice, among other stuff. So you're saying that after writing a book about how better off the world would be without dinosaurs, you now want to help preserve them? Alan questioned. Nope, came Malcolm's reply. I now want us to help preserve them. Well, Grant rolled his eyes as he shifted in his seat. That certainly is an idea. I'm not saying it's a smart plan, Malcolm said. I'm just trying to make things right, Guess that's just the beer talking again, Alan commented. To be fair, I haven't had a beer since that one, Malcolm confessed. So, what do you say? Being an honest writer, it would not be an oversell to say that Grant felt uneasy about the idea of funding anything that had to do with dinosaurs. True, he did still care for dinosaurs, even after everything he had been through regarding them. Just the same, he did have his doubts about what working to protect these creatures could mean globally speaking. Still, after a short while of thinking, he finally had his answer. Who do we call?